Liv Morgan sent a message to Bayley. Explains why she feels nervous about her. Liv Morgan sent a message to Bayley, claiming she feels nervous about the role model. The former women's world champion reacted to Bayley setting up a sauna and a fire. Morgan and Bayley will meet in the upcoming Women's Elimination Chamber match. Morgan defeated Io Sky to qualify for the match, and Bayley qualified with a win over Lyra Valkyria. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, and two more superstars will also compete in the match. Morgan expressed concern about Bayley knowing about her Pamela lore after seeing her Instagram post. Bayley has also been appearing on NXT. She will challenge Julia for the NXT Women's Championship in a fatal four-way match featuring Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. The match will take place on Vengeance Day. The role model is a former one-time NXT Women's Champion. Dominic Mysterio clarified he wasn't trying to cheat on Liv Morgan. Dominic Mysterio has clarified he wasn't trying to cheat on Liv Morgan after she lost the WWE Women's World Championship to Rhea Ripley on the Raw on Netflix premiere. Speaking to Thea Nemina, Mysterio stated he would try to steal the title from Ripley and figure something out with Morgan instead of hugging her. He said there is a huge misunderstanding there. Liv and I had agreed that if for whatever reason she did not end up with the title, I would steal it and run away from Ripley and we would figure it out. So that's what I was going for. I was going for the sneak hug, steal the title, and dip. Morgan and Mysterio's on-screen relationship began at SummerSlam 2024 when Mysterio betrayed Rhea Ripley, helping Morgan retain the WWE Women's World Championship. WWE superstar Liv Morgan's road to recovery. Liv Morgan met with an injury on Monday Night Raw on February 10th. There was a tag team match that took place in which Liv Morgan suffered an injury during her battle against Damage Control on Monday Night Raw. During the match, both the wrestlers, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez, carried out a battering ram smack on Damage Control members and fought hard, but unfortunately, they received defeat at the hands of their opponents. Liv Morgan recently shared some information about her current injury condition through various social media accounts after the incident. On Monday Night Raw, Liv Morgan looked to be seriously injured and left the ring bleeding. While most thought that she got a cut near her eye from Io Sky's knee strike, others said that it was all Raquel Rodriguez's fault. The match had reached an interesting phase, and right then, unfortunately, Rodriguez smashed too hard on Morgan's face, resulting in a cut near her eye while recovering from her injury. Liv Morgan addressed her fans' concerns about her eye condition by sharing a photo on social media revealing her stitches, showing the actual state of her injury despite the setback. Morgan has kept her focus on the upcoming Elimination Chamber event, which will be held on March 1st in Toronto, as this match could secure her a title opportunity at WrestleMania 41. Liv Morgan, along with Bayley, Bianca Belair, and Alexa Bliss are confirmed participants in the Elimination Chamber match, with two spots still to be filled by remaining competitors. According to WWE's backstage information, the former WWE Women's World Champion Liv Morgan is looking fine and recovering pretty well from her injury. Additionally, she needed some stitches to heal the injury. So, from this point of view, it looks like she will be able to participate in the main event of the Elimination Chamber. Thursday marked 25 years since Lita made her unforgettable WWE debut. It's a special moment in history, especially with Trish Stratus also celebrating her 25-year anniversary in WWE this year. Stratus wore the same hat she donned during her surprise appearance in the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match. Liv Morgan took to Twitter on Thursday to share the aftermath of a recent injury. After suffering a severe eye gash that required stitches during her women's tag team match on this week's episode of WWE Raw, Liv gave fans a glimpse, or not so much, of the injury and her recovery process. Liv Morgan gives update on her condition after horrific moment on WWE RV. Liv Morgan didn't have the best of nights on this week's WWE Raw, where she and Raquel Rodriguez lost to damaged CTRL's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. At one point in the match, the former Women's World Champion even started bleeding profusely, and she has now updated her fans about her condition. Morgan has already qualified for the Women's Elimination Chamber match by defeating Io Sky last week due to interference by Rhea Ripley. On the latest episode of Raw, Liv Morgan and her Judgment Day stablemate Raquel Rodriguez continued their feud with Sky and her Damage Control partner Dakota Kai in a tag team match. The genius of the Sky finally got her revenge by pinning Morgan, however. What raised fans' concerns was Liv Morgan WWE injury update following RW between the two, Tiffany and Rhea. I think I'd rather see Rhea, because she and Rhea had such an incredible match 2 years ago. They haven't had a match like that in women's division that I've seen on TV anywhere. Rhea won the match, but it was the best match on the show. It was incredible. Following a bloody match on WWE Monday Night Raw, a new report has revealed an injury update on Liv Morgan. On the February 10th edition of WWE Raw, damaged CTRL's Io Sky and Dakota Kai defeated Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez of the Judgment Day. During the course of the bout, Morgan suffered an apparent injury where she came up bleeding after a knee from Sky. Later in the program, Morgan was sporting a big bruise on her face during a backstage segment after the tag team bout. Fightful Select, subscription required, provided an update, noting that word backstage was Liv Morgan appeared to be okay, but may need stitches. The report reads, Liv Morgan got busted open by a knee, but word backstage was that she appeared to be okay, but may need stitches. Morgan will face Bianca Belair, Bayley, and 3 other participants in the Women's Elimination Chamber match at the titular event on March 1st. Kairi Sane sends a message to Liv Morgan. WWE star shares brutal fallout of serious injury. WWE superstar Kairi Sane recently took to social media to send a message to former Women's World Champion Liv Morgan. The Judgment Day star suffered a brutal injury on this week's Monday Night Raw during the latest episode of the Red Brand. Liv Morgan teamed up with Raquel Rodriguez to face damage CTRL's Io Sky and Dakota Kai. All of the women involved in the bout put on an amazing display, but the match ultimately ended in Sky and Kai's favor. However, during the bout, Morgan suffered a brutal injury near her eye and started bleeding heavily. Following the show, the Judgment Day star had to get several stitches to close up her wound. She recently took to X/Twitter to show off her injury. This post caught Kairi Sane's attention, and she uploaded a photo of a similar eye injury that she had suffered in September last year while competing against Isla Dawn and Alba Fire. The Damage Control member also sent a message to Morgan with several emojis. Former WWE writer reacted to Liv Morgan's brutal injury on Raw. During a recent edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling's Legion of Raw, former WWE writer Vince Russo reacted to Liv Morgan's brutal eye injury, saying that he believed she was extremely tough for a person of her stature. Did you see that nasty gash on Liv Morgan's eye, man? Wow, she is tough. I gotta give you that, man. That was a nasty gash on her eye. Did you see how that happened, Chris? I wasn't watching closely enough. I mean, she had like a boxer's cut. I mean, wow. She is tough, man. Liv Morgan is tough for a girl her size, and that was nasty. Liv Morgan has qualified for this year's Women's Elimination Chamber match. It will be interesting to see what WWE has planned for the Judgment Day star's future. Liv Morgan smiles through the pain after suffering a nasty cut on WWE Raw. It was a rough night for Liv Morgan Monday on Raw, who suffered both insult and injury. In a tag team match pitting her and Raquel Rodriguez against Io Sky and Dakota Kai of Damage Control, Morgan was pinned by Sky. But before that, she suffered a gnarly cut just over her right eye during the final minutes of the match. Rodriguez and Morgan paired up for some unique tandem offense. Rodriguez scooped Morgan up as if she was going to powerbomb her. Instead, she used Morgan as a weapon, swinging her body into the ribs of Sky, then Kai. Morgan's injury appeared to occur right after she collided with Sky. However, she started holding her face after hitting Dakota later. After Morgan blasted Kai with Oblivion, Sky plowed through her with a running knee lift. That incapacitated Morgan for several moments, who was briefly checked on by the referee. Ultimately, Sky put Morgan down for the 3 count with her signature moonsault, despite the grisly nature of her injury. Morgan was all smiles afterward. "Io, you could never make me ugly," said the former women's world champ in a video she shared to X along with pictures of her